This is not good. A wee while ago, bespectacled musical genius and all-around good egg Cameron Gorham, aka Venus Theory, released this video in which he outlines just how utterly f***ed the situation is right now with streaming platforms, AI-produced content, and unscrupulous types abusing content ID systems. It's an absolutely fascinating watch. I'll link it down below so you can go and watch it once you've finished watching this video. About 15 minutes in, Cameron uses music identifying software to listen to supposedly royalty-free samples on popular sample services like Splice and Loopmasters to see if any previously mentioned unscrupulous types have copyrighted royalty-free content, either unwittingly, which shouldn't be possible according to online distributors like DistroKid, or in an attempt to game the copyright ID system for financial gain. And he gets a match every single time. It got me thinking about GarageBand, Logic Pro, and Apple loops in particular. Specifically, I was curious to see if I could use Venus Theory's method to see if any Apple loops, which Apple explicitly state are royalty-free, and which distribution services go out of their way to tell you not to use in any songs you're going to release through them, would be recognised and identified in music identifying software. So I've got my iPhone with Shazam open, and I'm going to trigger loops from inside GarageBand for Mac's loop browser to see if we get any matches. Yeah, this is definitely not a good thing, and it's pretty clear that despite distribution companies telling people not to release songs that contain royalty-free Apple loops, lots of people are doing it anyway. So what if you want to use GarageBand or Logic Pro loops, but you don't want to add to this massive problem? There are a few things you can do to transform the sound of these pre-made loops enough that they sound unique and no one else will have them in their songs. The easiest way to change the feel of an Apple loop without really changing its overall sound is to simply chop it up and then put it back together again. You can do this really easily in both GarageBand for iOS and GarageBand for Mac. I'll show you here in GarageBand for Mac, but as I say, you can do this really easily in GarageBand for iOS too. I have this loop here. If I play it back, you can listen to what it sounds like. So if I move the playhead to this point and then choose to split the region, and then move the playhead again and split it again, I can then remove this section and move the other two parts together and then put this section at another point along the track's timeline. And then when I play it back, it kind of retains the character of that original loop, but doesn't sound exactly the same way as the stock version of it. If the loop you want to use is a MIDI software instrument loop, you can change it up really easily as well. If I select the region I want to edit and then open the editor window by hitting the edit button in the top left of GarageBand's screen, I can simply come down and click and drag on individual notes in this MIDI loop to change things up a bit. Finally, if all of that just sounds like a bit too much like hard work, you can just slap a whole lot of effects onto an existing Apple loop, and that should be transformative enough to change the sound of it so that it won't trigger any Content ID shenanigans. If I open up the Smart Controls window and head to the plugins section here, I can click on an empty spot here, select my plugin, and edit it so that it changes the sound of the loop. And I'll probably want to add some more effects here to transform the sound of the loop enough so that it sounds unique and unlike the stock version of it. So yeah, bit of an eye-opener there. Let me know what you think about Apple loops, whether you've used them in tracks that you've released previously, and if you've run into any Content ID stuff, be it positive or negative, down in the comments. Give that like button a wee tickle while you're down there. I really appreciate it, and it helps more people see this video. Remember to check out Venus Theory's video, I've linked it in the description below, or watch this video next for more info on working with GarageBand's loops.